lot of people talk about ICO, okay, and which is even changing now because this is our own time. It's ICO we used to use, but you guys are using what are you using now? DSO or something like that. That's another word. But what is an ICO for the average guy? And is ICO an investment or a gift to a project with the hope of profiting from your gift? Because some people get confused about this. Go ahead.
All right. So when a project is starting out, there are some portion of this project that are given to certain persons. These those that put their money in a particular project early, right? The early investors. So those people actually are regarded.
Now you use a word that I'm going to quarrel with, okay? Which is the problem, which I'm expecting to help me solve. When people put their money in an ICO, is it an investment really? What is an ICO?
Initial coin offering. Initial coin
okay,
offering.
What is that? What? So when you invest, go ahead.
For example, I think that issue that you're saying now is one of the things happening in the US, where some projects are saying they are not securities, and the authorities are saying that we have to treat you a certain way, right? So, but away from that, when a project is starting, there are certain persons that put money together. Initial coin offering. Those people have a certain portion of that project, right? Before the project is launched on an exchange. So
when you say they have a portion, when you say they have a portion of that project, that's not correct, with all due respect, like my brother will say. They don't. And that is the number one problem. Now we are getting into it. Because I know, as somebody who has launched 2 projects, I don't know if you've launched a crypto project, I've launched 2. And I've learned that, and it's part of the problem in the industry. Let me set everybody straight. Then you can contradict me. When you invest in a project, or I don't even like the word invest, when a project is coming out, okay, people it's a way of funding a project. Now, I'll use a good example. I use it on Clubhouse, got into trouble, they canceled me, they called me a scammer. But let me say it again, just in case you don't know and you want to go put your money in an ICO. When you put your money in an ICO, you do not, read my lips, you do not have any of the project. I don't care what Rume is saying. I'm talking law now. Because the project is different from the ICO. A lot of people don't know that. The ICO is to fund a project. Take, for instance, you want to build a software. You want to build a software. Most times they have an idea of building a software, other than the meme coins, which we are coming to, even those. Okay, now they are trying to raise money. Imagine that the software is Mobimatic. Okay, just something like that. They want to build that software. Now they are looking for money to fund that project. Then they create a coin, which is the way 90% of coins were created before they started having these what they call security coins in the US. But 90% of coins, and I'm daring Rume right now, he's a preacher, let him correct me. 90% of coins, and when you contradict me, you are going to give me examples, and I'll give you plenty. 90% of crypto that you see out there, whether meme coins or project coins, they are raising money to fund a project. So when you put your money in that coin, you are not getting any part of that project. All you are getting is crypto. The crypto does not have shares in the project. I will give you several examples. Ethereum is a project. This other one that is in the US that's gone down a lot now, that banks use. What is it called now? The
SRP, Ripple.
Yes, SRP, all those coins, they are for a project. Like SRP is for not even SRP is the one I want to mention, the one that US securities are now challenging. Then there are SRP that now went all the way down. Come on now, what is the name of the
Solana?
Solana is one of the. No, it's not even Solana I have in mind, but Solana is a good example. Solana is a project, okay, to build a platform that will be used in the marketplace. So they launch their ICO. When you buy that ICO, you don't get any shares in Solana project. What you get is a crypto coin. That's why they call it a token. It's equivalent. The best way to explain it. Imagine when Professor Bishop Oyedepo wants to set up his church so that everybody can get it. I use that example, which makes it clear, but people still say, oh, I don't know what I'm talking about. He wants to build a church. If Bishop Oyedepo had not decided that everybody who wants to support that project, they should come and give money to it, and in exchange, he's going to give them a covenant token. Okay? Now, that token does not own any part of the church. It's not part of the church. You don't get shares in the company. When you invest in Solana, you don't get shares in Solana. You get a token. Meaning it's a gift. It says so on the ICO, on their white paper. Go read every white paper. All of them. Page 2 will tell you, putting money in this project does not give you shares in this project. All it gives you is a token, which we may then launch on the exchange. And then when we launch it on the exchange, then it becomes something you can exchange among yourselves. A lot of people miss that because 90% of projects have not been launched, Mr. Rume. That's why I think a lot of people think crypto is a scam. Because they tell you, oh, we want to build this building or we want to build this software. Then you contribute money to help them build that software. Number one, when they build that software, you don't own any part of it. You only own a token that is separate from it. Even when they build it, you don't own any of it. But most times they don't build it. They don't build anything. Out of the thousands of cryptos out there, I would dare any crypto preacher to tell me less than 10% of them have launched their projects even 10 years after they collected people's money. If I'm wrong, give me the stats and tell me the ones that have launched. Few of them ever launched that project. Why? And it's okay. I'm saying this for those of you investing in it. Don't deceive yourself that it's not like a company. That's why it's separate from shares. When you buy shares of Coca-Cola, you actually get stock of Coca-Cola that owns part of Coca-Cola and get dividends from Coca-Cola. In crypto, you never get dividends from the project. There's nothing like that. It's a token of their appreciation. That's what it is. It's a gift to the project. So they give you a token that is digital as a means of appreciation for contributing to the project. Now, later, they will take those tokens and take it to an exchange. Some of them never get to an exchange. Some of them do go to exchange. But the idea, when they take it to an exchange now, then it has value. When they give it to you, there's no value. It's just like somebody giving you a thank you letter for donating to their project. It's actually a donation. In case you still don't get it, it's a donation. But they give you a token as appreciation. That's why it's called a token, as appreciation for your contribution. But what now separates crypto now is that somebody now figured out, what if we create an exchange where people can exchange these tokens among themselves? The token itself doesn't have any value. Now, with that exchange, now a Rume can come exchange with a Gistcoin crypto. For instance, Gistcoin was launched to raise funds to create Gist House. Those who bought Gistcoins have no shares in Gist House. Gist House is a separate company. Whether Gist House makes 1 billion or zero money tomorrow, those who bought Gistcoins are not going to get shares from there. But the shares of Gistcoin, or rather the tokens of Gistcoin, can then go up or down in the exchange as people begin to exchange it among themselves. Then it develops a value. Why am I saying this? Because a lot of people have gotten their fingers burnt and they are calling the crypto creators scammers because they are assuming when they buy an ICO, they are doing an investment. No, you are not doing an investment. You are doing a donation to a project in exchange for a token. But when you buy crypto on the exchange, then it's an investment, right? When something is already on an exchange, now you can, it has a value that is put on it by the people, by the market. They put it on a crypto exchange. Now, I don't buy ICO now. I only buy projects that are on an exchange because now I have an idea how to measure it. Is this likely to go up or down? Where is the state of their project? What are people saying? Do they have a community? All of that stuff. Now you can value it better because they're on an exchange. When you put your money, now you are investing. And then you can make your investment can be a loss, it can be a gain. But when you buy SEO, you are gambling on the fact that that project will generate a lot of noise when they put it on the exchange. I bought a lot of cryptos that never went on the exchange. How am I going to sell it? So it's just a token. It's on my at least 30 of them. The guys on exchange. But I can't complain because I understand now. When I buy an ICO, I'm contributing to a project that I'm not going to have shares in. This party got to get everybody. At least that's my understanding. That I'm going to let a Rume come in and tell me I'm talking bullshit, then give you his version. He is operating in it. I'm not now, but I've launched 2 projects and I understand now. And I tell people, when you buy into an ICO, you are literally donating to a project because you don't get shares in that project. You get tokens. Tokens have no value. It's like a letter. Thank you. Now, when I now take that project to an exchange, that letter of thank you can then have a value because then people can be exchanging those letters among themselves. Okay, I want to have 10 letters. I want to have 20 tokens. And then because there's now a demand, price comes in. And then we start exchanging it. Get that. Any coin, even including the meme coins, they are not giving you any project. The guy that did Dogecoin, he just said he just wants to do a rubbish coin. He's not making a shareholder in his company. Doge as a company, a lot of people didn't know that. There's a company behind it. That company holds whatever money you buy as an ICO. But enough of their coins is out there now that you can then use as an investment. And then your investment can be better calculated, knowing that you're investing on the coin, not on the project. Enough said. I hope you guys are clear. But maybe I'm wrong. I'll let the Rume, who is a daily practitioner, maybe this is old school thinking, let him give us the new age thinking about this. Over to you now. I've spoken enough about this.
So when you said talk about ICOs, you actually correct. The people buying into ICOs initially they're buying. They are gambling. If you take if you take a case study of what happened in Repo and SEC now, why they are in court, why the US SEC is calling Repo SRP a security, is because in the ICO stage, those people that actually they raised money and they used that money.
XRP is the one I was talking about. You are right. XRP. Yes. Go ahead. Okay.
They use that money to finance They said these things are 2 different entities, XRP and Repo. Repo is a different company entirely. But
yes,
the authorities are now saying that why do you now use money from ICO to now finance the other?
Yes, because that's what ICOs are about. That is why it's the only difference. Now you get this. Now you are getting it. Now the problem with XRP was not so much that they used the ICO money to finance their Repo. Was on their white paper. What did they say there? Now, if they have these rules now to try to separate it, which one is a security and which one is not a security, because of this thing we are discussing. Because the average guy who buys this stuff, he has it in his head, is investing in a company. But those who are doing this, they put it in their white paper that Lila is not an investment, is a donation to our project, and I encourage everybody right now, if you have an ICO that you bought, download their white paper, read it. It's right there on page 2 of most. But because they felt it's unfair, and I agree, a lot of them collect money, they don't launch the projects. Why should I put money in your ICO and then I don't own any part of that stuff? Is what America is now saying. That if you are using to raise funds for a project, it's got to be a DS, they call it one name now, where you have to now go through all this, whatever. But go ahead. So, and that's why a lot of people are running away from US. That's why.
Yeah. So no, I don't personally, I don't do ICOs. Personally, I don't do ICOs.
Exactly. That's what I wanted you to focus on and tell them. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Personally, I don't do ICO because it's most of the time you're going to get your hand burned. Most of the times, I've seen a lot of people don't see it. The ICO don't see it. In fact, the worst part of it is that some from bad guys they connive with the company to tell them to do all of this ICO thing, and they'll promise them it will be launched in Binance, launch here, and at the end of the day, they don't say anything. They share the money. You understand? But one thing that is fraudulent that these platforms are doing now, you create an ICO, you tell people to invest in the ICO, that part of the ICO is donated to there's a foundation. So they usually create foundation that it is in support. The ICO is in support of the foundation, and at the end of the day, they do all sorts to raise money to finance their own lives. So ICOs are very risky. Like, they are so risky that you can lose your life. You can lose everything that you have. You're actually quite. If I didn't get you well initially, that's where we had that disparity. ICOs, I can't call an ICO an investment. It's a gamble.
Exactly. I want people to know that, because many don't know, and then they start complaining later. But go ahead. I hear you. Sorry. Yes, and that's exactly what you are saying. What I'm saying, it's important for us to reclarify that for the audience, because many are not savvy enough to understand that they are gambling. There's nothing for them if they buy into ICO other than Ope, and they should see it like that and not blame anybody later. But go ahead.
Yeah. So I don't like the question exactly. You can rephrase the question again. I think we've discussed a whole lot of things, and I don't think...
No. All I just wanted to establish is that when you buy an ICO, you are really not doing an investment, because an investment
is a gamble.
Has to do something that you have stock in that you can then transfer and all of that. It's not an investment. It's a donation to a project, and they give you tokens that may or may not go to an exchange. It doesn't have any value.
I think you are even nice. I think you are nice for calling it is a donation. It's gambling, for crying out loud.
Yes, they did. Okay, I'm glad that
you are donating to something. If you are donating to something, you will not care what happened at the end of the day.
Yes, exactly.
But now,
thank you. Yes. Okay, go ahead.
You will not care what happened at the end of the day, but now you care because you want a portion of it. That's the point I was coming from for Ethereum, Binance Coin, the BNB. Some of them scale through. So peradventure, there's maybe they get some inner cackles or something. Because if you look at it, some of these successful projects, you may likely, as an average person, even if you have some money, not know when these ICOs will happen. You may not have such information. I don't know of anybody that went to the ICO of Ethereum in Nigeria, BNB, and some other platforms. So it's an internal thing. So they have a way of doing it. So ICO now, in fact, you hardly hear, because in 2016, the ICO bubble actually made a lot of people, wrecked a lot of people. It wrecked a lot of people. And I don't think that is one thing that people, in fact, if you do anything ICO now, those of us that have been in the industry for a while, people just look at you somehow. Like, is this one wanting to steal fresh?